Nigerians in Nigeria, you guys still don't get it. People are starting to relocate back to Nigeria.
Anytime I reflect back to think about the decision that I made, I have moments when I feel like, see, you made a very stupid decision.
Few reasons why I have decided I'm going to be moving back to Nigeria. Yes, I said it. I am moving back home.
It's in being in Nigeria so often that I've come to realize that I actually really like being there. And so that's why this
Nigerians in Nigeria, you guys still don't get it. People are starting to relocate back to Nigeria. I don't mean old people, young, successful people are starting to relocate back to Nigeria amidst the corruption, the bad roads, the insecurity, the problems everywhere. People are still coming back. And you've not even stopped to ask yourself why. I've been wondering, because I mean, when you see people like people that are doing well say, "Oh, I don't want to be here anymore, I want to go back home." You that is here, you have to ask questions, and you're wondering, why do people want to go back home? Why are people going back home? Like, how can someone in a first world country that is not a missionary, that has comfort, a good level of comfort, structure, everything that they've always wanted, and they decide that they want to go back home to a third world country and stay there? It's just one answer I can give you: identity. Identity is something that is laced with you. Even if you change continents, it's ingrained inside of you. Young people are starting to feel out of place, especially young people that lived in Nigeria and then relocated to any country outside Nigeria. They miss the country. And more than just the country, they miss the people, whether it's their family, whether it's their relatives, their friends. Also, they just miss the atmosphere. Guys, you may not understand this if you've never had to live outside of your environment. But if you have, then you kind of relate to what is going on. People are starting to see that more than just the comfort, they miss just being in touch with their roots. They miss being in touch with their origin, where they're from, the people that they've known all their lives, and they want to go back to that. Now, it doesn't mean that they don't have like a plan B of what they're going to do while they're back in Nigeria, or that they don't have, like a job or a business, or nah, they have all that planned out. But just being around the people, being around that space is something that people are starting to crave. And trust me, if you are a Nigerian in Nigeria trying to relocate outside the country, you're going to also deal with that. You're going to also deal with the identity crisis of being out of place, or feeling out of place in whatever country you are. You're going to miss that. You're going to want to go back to that. I'm never going to act like it's not going to happen. It's going to happen to you. It happens to the best of us, to our parents, to us. Everybody's going to deal with it. But what do you do in those times? Make sure that you are giving yourself a goal and a target of what you're going to achieve within a set amount of years, so that by the time you're heading back, you're not heading back to start afresh, but you're continuing your life in peace and with a good structure, financially, emotionally, and otherwise.
Anytime I reflect back to think about the decision that I made, I have moments when I feel like, see, you made a very stupid decision. And then there's still moments where I'm like, you don't know what's coming. I'm not going to say it has been an easy journey, because I'm basically trying to fit into a life that I have not really been living in a very long time. I moved to Hungary in 2010. So I studied in Hungary, and then I moved to Budapest after I finished my master's, studied medicine, and I graduated in 2019, and then I did master's public health and I finished in 2020. I started working in 2021. I didn't think that Hungary was a place that was going to fuel the growth of those ideas. It wasn't a fulfilling life. I wasn't working to build wealth. I wasn't working to, grow my passion and just to be a better version of myself at some point. I'm going to be 31 this year, and I had to just reevaluate my life, because people say your 30s are the most enjoyable years or something like that. It seemed as though I was going to just be finding myself in my 30s, which is what I'm doing. I also experimented some things in my 20s, but my 30s is basically just me curating my dream life. And my dream life is flexibility, I want stability, and I want financial freedom, of course. I just don't like the maybes. I feel like the maybes were just playing too much in my head. Don't get me wrong, we all understand the situation in Nigeria. Whenever I visited, It's just something that would speak to me. Now I understand that visiting is different from leaving. If you have a mission in Nigeria, I think it's possible. When I say my dream life is basically to wake up happy. I found that I was waking up grumbling. I would hate to go to work. I would hate my job. Maybe some days I would have to psych myself to enjoy my job. But then if you enjoy your work, it doesn't feel like work. Yeah, so far it has been interesting. I mean, dealing with the light situation, dealing with internet. I mean, there's some days where I'm just like, oh my God, because in this whole journey and transition phase, you need money. I sit back and I question myself, do I get a 9 to 5 in Nigeria? I've been thinking about it. I'm still thinking about it. But at the same time, it defeats the purpose. If I put in all my effort in that 9 to 5, and then my business suffers. But I'm trying to be transparent and vulnerable. I'm trying to carry you guys along in my journey. I don't want to give you guys a finished product. I'm just taking you guys along to just navigate this part because it's an interesting journey for me. I'm enjoying it, but there's still some things that you just have a little bit of dynamic. Yeah, that's been the journey so far. Just wanted to update you guys on how it has been so far. I'll probably do an updated YouTube video on my channel. Yeah, I'm talking too much. All right, see you guys in the next one.
Hey guys, I have a question that I feel like I have a partial answer to it. The question is, why do you think people are moving back home? And when I mean people, I mean younger adults. I'm not talking about people who are retired and who have like their pensions, who are just ready to go back to Africa. I'm talking about younger adults. I'm talking about younger females and younger males or relocating back to Nigeria. Recently, I type in on my TikTok, like moving back to Nigeria, and it's a lot of videos popping up, and people are just like moving en masse to Nigeria. And I feel like one of the answers that I have to it is the fact that people are seeking identity and people are trying to have meaningful life, and people are tired of like the monthly subscriptions that we have to leave being abroad. I'm talking about like the US, the UK, and Canada, and other places that is not Africa. So, but what do you guys really think? Because I remember talking about this topic and everyone literally came from my head. So I want to know, what do you guys think? So guys, today I'm going to be telling you some of the few reasons why I have decided I'm going to be moving back to Nigeria. Yes, I said it. I am moving back home. Do you see the glow up on my face just talking about the fact that I'm moving to Nigeria? Do you see how I feel? Number one is going to be my mental health. Like, there is no amount of supplement that you take. There is no amount of therapy that you would do that you will not constantly be in a battle with your mental health because you are living in a place where you don't feel fulfilled. You just don't have that sense of fulfillment. You're lonely, you're bored. You just feel like there's so much you could be doing out there besides the same 9 to 5. We just go to work, come back, repeat. And your 2 days off, you want to clean, you want to do your laundry. You don't even want to go anywhere. You want to be in bed. And then you're just like too exhausted. And before you know it's a Monday, you have to go back. It's just not how I want to live.
I haven't disappeared, I've just been moving to Nigeria. Have you ever asked yourself what would happen if we all actually did just go back to our countries? About a year and a half ago, I started a company that has given me the privilege to have been in Nigeria in January, in May, in October, in August, in December, and again this year in February and in March. It's in being in Nigeria so often that I've come to realize that I actually really like being there. And so that's why this year I said that I was going to spend 6 months in Italy and 6 months in Nigeria. And 6 months in Nigeria are just a few weeks away. My algorithm has been showing me so many people in the exact same situation as me, people in diaspora that are moving back to Nigeria. And the more that I see them, the more I realize that I have so much to say myself. And that's when it hit me. Back to My Country, a new series where I share everything that I learned and wish I knew before I moved continents and countries twice. A little bit controversial, just the way I like it. If you've ever thought about going back, specifically to Nigeria, or you've just experienced a big move, I think that this series is going to be super interesting for you. A lot of the things that I'm experiencing moving from Italy to Nigeria are the same ones that I experienced moving from the US to Italy a decade ago. Because in the end, it's not really country specific, and what better time for me to put it out than when I'm actually living through it. So yeah, this is me moving to Nigeria. This is Back to My Country.
What is going on these days? A lot of people are going back to Nigeria. Yeah, this one is no hearsay. I have someone that I know that came to Kitchener, where I live, going back to Nigeria. Why? Honestly, her case is even different because she's rich, you know. They have businesses and everything in Nigeria. The husband is even into politics. But what is going on? It's so tough compared to when I came. For real. Things are like, is it that people don't have the patience to even wait anymore? Or what is happening? The job is not really there. But I think you can get something doing, even if it's a small factory job, you know. People gotta do something. A lot of people are going back. If you're here, you've not really settled down and you don't have that patience. I don't know. You gotta have the patience though. I know people that came here as a student and when they're in school and that first 1-2 years they were complaining. But right now, they're doing very well. Okay? So Canada will teach you patience. Even when applying for your visa, they will teach you patience. While you are still inside the country. In fact, that patience, you go times time by 100. You need to have that patience when you're in Canada. You need to have that patience to go with the process. You know, things are not so magical anymore. When I came, it was even a bit easier. You know, this was like 9 years ago. But things have changed.